yung trabaho mo dapat hindi nakabase sa kung magkano yung binabayad sa'yo. If you commit to a job, regardless of saying na ang gagawin ko lang dito ay magtitimpla ko ng kape or magpe-print lang ako ng ano. If I commit to this job, I will do it the best that I can.
Welcome to Unifest Talks. In the professional world, everyone is expecting you to use a blueprint for success. But the biggest wins are usually found outside the lines. How do you commit to your ideas when everyone around you is telling you to stay within the lines? Welcome to Unifest Talks. We interview leaders who built their own unique path of success and growth. These are the entrepreneurs and creators who had to build their own blueprint, showing us how to transform raw vision and sheer resilience into undeniable, unconventional success. We focus on the wisdom gained from staying in the process, not just the final result. This episode of Unifest Talks is brought to you by HKD Digital, our partner who believes that intentional endurance is the key to lasting success. Visit unifest.com to learn more about our partners and how they support you, the next generation of global co-creators, towards a better life. It's time to manifest the best version of you. Time to learn the art of intentional endurance. Welcome to Unifest Talks. I'm your host, Rex Remitio. And if you've ever felt like your journey doesn't look like anyone else's on social media, you are exactly where you need to be. My guest today is a seasoned theater professional who is also the Chief Executive Officer of event production company Moon Media Events. She is also studying to become a doctor, another field she is passionate about. Let's welcome Mara Marasigan. Welcome to the show, Mara.
Thank you, Rex. Thanks for having me.
Okay. So, ayun nga no, I mentioned 'di ba na you came from the events industry. So paano ka ba nagsimula dito?
Sa events industry. Yeah, okay. So, I actually studied theater in high school up until college. So, that was my degree. And then, when I graduated, I went into television and film before transitioning into advertising and events. Actually, the first people who hired me for events were actually my mga titos and titas in theater. So, I started working with Stages production specialists. Tapos, they hired me originally to mga part of the cast, performing in the events, ganyan. And then, eventually, I started becoming an accounts manager for them, started video producing, gano'n. Tapos, so, everything I learned was actually under Stages. I only left Stages kasi nag-pandemic. Yon. Tapos, but it was something that I truly, really, really enjoyed. Tapos, it was also a good place for mga theater professionals to actually earn a living. And yun, that's how I started with the event circle.
Then you transition to being an entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
So paano nakatulong yung background mo sa theater to becoming a chief executive officer of your company?
So, in theater kasi, at least from our training in UP, you went through all the roles. So, hindi ka lang actor, hindi ka lang director. You went through production management, sales, marketing, ganyan. They wanted to make sure that you are holistic in your training. So, kumbaga, kahit saan ka ilagay, okay ka, ganun. So, I think that was the foundation really of me wanting to start my own company. Medyo accidental nga kasi there was really no plans of being an entrepreneur. Although I have like mga other small businesses, ganyan. I really didn't dream of having Moon Media Events or a company this big and this solid. But it kind of fell on my lap out of necessity. But I realized na parang, oo nga no, I am equipped to do this if I'm surrounded by the right people. If I am, anong tawag to, pag nakahanap ka ng mga tamang tao na makakatrabaho mo, It makes the job easier. And I really, really, truly enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, and just a little background lang, no? You mentioned out of necessity. Can you
Yeah.
tell us more about this?
Okay, so after I left stages during the pandemic, so nag-stop yung lahat ng events, nag-stop yung lahat ng anong tawag nito ng mga uh, audio-visual stuff during the pandemic kasi we couldn't shoot, we couldn't, alam mo yun, no face-to-face interaction, no. I actually went into med school. Parang yun yung yun yung deciding factor ko. But then I had to pay for my tuition. So I was a working student, ganyan. So I was doing a lot of freelance jobs. When the industry opened up, I had an opportunity. Some of the other people that I used to work with actually tapped me to do freelance. Ang problem lang kasi sa atin ngayon, dahil freelance ka, hindi ka, may mga companies that they don't pay freelance artists. They have to pay like a registered company or etc. So that's how Moon Media Events started. Kasi I couldn't get paid as an individual. And I had to also build my team. Parang while they're hiring me as freelance, kailangan ko din to, part of my job was managing people and hiring people. And I had to legitimize that. Of course, we also wanted to provide security for the people we were hiring. And the only way to do that was actually to start a company. So originally, it was small, na parang, okay, for, we needed the paperwork, we were registered, etc. Okay siya. And then it started getting bigger because the people we were working with were also dreaming bigger. Like parang, we greatly enjoy what we're doing. So, we wanted to share more of that. Tapos, so, dun siya nag-start. And then, the dream kept on getting bigger. And then, people wanted to work more, work harder, ganyan. So, while it started out of necessity, we actually really value what we share, what we give to the people. So, yun.
And how many employees do you have right now?
Right now, we're a small company. So, around 9. 9 to 10. 10 now. So, we have 10 full-time employees. But, we also outsource a lot of people. Kasi one of the things also that we dreamed for the business was we wanted to provide jobs for theater professionals. Kasi nga, doon ako nanggaling eh. Nanggaling ako sa theater. I knew how hard it was to sustain a living with just doing theater. But I wanted to cater to everybody who had that same skill set. So, part of our advocacy is actually providing jobs for those who, mga new grads, na theater, or yung mga nagpa-freelance. Kasi, that's the freelance world eh. Yun. So, while small company lang kami na in-house, we do outsource a lot of other people. Yeah.
Ano naman yung mga principles na natutunan mo sa theater na nai-apply mo sa pagmamanage ng business mo? I understand you mentioned a while ago that kailangan daanan mo lahat, alam mo lahat. Aside from that, ano pa yung mga principles sa theater?
Okay, so one of the things is commitment to the job. So one of the big things for me, what I learned in theater was there's really no small job. There's no small there is small pay, pero hindi siya yung trabaho mo dapat hindi nakabase sa kung magkano yung binabayad sa iyo. If you commit to a job, regardless of saying na ang gagawin ko lang dito ay magtitimpla ko ng kape or magpe-print lang ako ng ano. If I commit to this job, I will do it the best that I can. Madami kasi, ngayon kasi in the industry, there are a lot of freelance jobs accessible for everybody. So, everybody, dahil natatakot ka na baka mawalan ka ng trabaho in the next month, ganyan, you try to take on as much as you can. But, people forget that even though you're taking on a lot of things, hindi mo siya pwedeng tratuhing racket. Meron akong prof na hate yung word na yun, yung racket. Kasi, hindi siya racket. You have to be professional at all times in whatever you are doing. Whether that be photocopying something or just writing down receipts. You have to commit to doing it. And then, that you have to always give value to the work that you're doing. Kasi, yun, there are no small jobs. Like, each person doing a job will contribute to the bigger scheme of things. what you have to put value in what you are doing. Kasi, like in our company, merong mga big players, mga production managers, they're the ones running the show, ganyan. But the production managers will only be able to do their jobs well if everybody is doing their job as well. Ganon. Um, so, big thing for me, big thing yung to value commitment in the job that you are doing, in putting value into every single thing that you do. And then, aside from that, yung honesty. So, sa theater, at least in acting, everybody talks about the truth of what you are doing, ganyan. I think it should apply to everything that you will be doing. Parang it should be guided by honesty. If you know that hindi ka aabot or hindi ka makaka-deliver, nandun ako sa prinsipyo na kailangan sabihin mo na kagad. Because there will always be a plan. There will always be backup plans. People will always find ways to do things differently. But you have to learn how to communicate truthfully.
From being a theater professional, you went to medicine school. So
Yeah.
what was the moment that made you decide, okay, I'll go now to med school?
Trivia. When I graduated from the Philippine High School for the Arts, I actually went into biology for
Okay.
2 years in UPLB. There was a feeling that I wanted to become a doctor after graduating high school. But it stemmed more out of burnout from the arts. Kasi nga,
Okay.
kasi nga
Okay.
4 years in Makiling kasi 4 years kayo nagte-training in the arts. And I actually have a lot of classmates who went into medicine, nursing, became doctors, may mga engineers pa kami ganun. So it was parang when I went into biology, it was more out of burnout na grabe, ito yung ginagawa ko buong buhay ko. I wanted something different. So, I went into biology. But I think that hindi ko fully pa nako-commit. Because it was scary.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about the world and all that. But then, after I graduated college, I did see myself, like I said, I wanted to be a health professional. So, nagtoy pa dun sa idea na parang magna-nursing ba ako or ganyan. So, I went into training as an EMT. So, emergency medical tech. I did some ambulance service, ganyan. And then, it was always, mag-med school na ba ako? Mag-med school na ba ako? Pero laging may fear na, kasi I didn't know what that word was.
And why med school of all? Ang daming ibang professions aside from nasa theater, di ba? Why med school?
I loved interacting with people. And the interaction is always, I want them to feel better. Or I want them to take something out of the interaction na will actually, ang cliche kasi sabihin ng healing no? Pero every time na, parang meron akong need to fix things.
Okay.
Or hindi naman fix people.
Baka pati rin ba sa personal na buhay?
Hindi, pero meron akong, parang lagi akong, so my background has always been, if somebody was in pain, I wanted to figure out why they were in pain. Or when somebody is sick, I wanted to take care of the people being sick. That's why yung family members ko, they were all like, oh, you'd make a great nurse kasi ikaw yung nag-aalaga sa mga tao pag nagkakasakit sila. But there was always a need to find out more. Like, I like taking care of people, but I wanted to find out what was wrong. I wanted to find out why they were sick. I wanted to understand the mechanism of that. So, parang that was always stuck in my head. But it was scary because after I graduated, I started working immediately in television. Tapos I was earning money. Tapos I was so scared of not earning money. So, I kept on working. I was such a workaholic. Ganyan. There were actually several times that I tried to take the NMAT, which was the medical aptitude test to get into a medical school. So, may time na may schedule na ako, nag-review na ako, pero sobrang takot ko, hindi ko siya tinuloy. Ganyan. The main turning point was actually the pandemic. Because for the longest time, I was afraid of losing work. I was afraid of not earning money. And then the pandemic happened. And then I lost work. I wasn't earning money. And that was the only thing that remained. The only thing that remained was I really wanted to heal people. I wanted to do something more tangible. Um, and then my lola, who got sick during the pandemic of cancer, when I was taking care of her, I'm like, yeah, this is really what I want to do. Um, this is what I think I can share to the world. Yeah,
Mhm.
yun. So, wala eh. Parang na-shake tayo lahat ng
Okay.
pandemic eh.
Okay.
Yeah, nawala yung safety net mo eh. Kung nag-survive naman tayo nawala yung safety net, di go for it.
So, paano mo pinag-i-integrate yung mga learnings mo sa pagiging actress at saka sa med school mo?
Yeah. So, I'm actually, it's so evident when medical students at least have exposure to the arts.
Okay.
Their compassion and their empathy is different.
Can you tell me the difference?
Okay, hindi naman siya stark contrast, but it is evident in the
Okay.
way you actually listen to people. So, now kasi...
Ba't yung iba ba hindi nakikinig, ganyan? Hindi naman.
Oo,
Okay.
in a sense. Or they only hear facts. They don't hear what the stories.
Mm.
So, part of our work as medical students now, for second year and third year in our school, is we do ward work. We do interviews with patients. We ask them for their history of present illness. Ganyan, tatanungin namin sila, ganun. Yung mga alam mong may, kahit nga hindi mo alam nakikita mo na may exposure sila sa arts, they listen to the stories. They don't just look for the facts.
Mhm.
They show more empathy.
Mhm.
And they show more understanding. And I think that's a big thing in the medical field. There's also a lot of compassion. Kasi ang tendency, syempre because sobrang fast-paced sobrang fast-paced ng learning, sobrang fast-paced ng interaction with clients, ganyan. Nagkakaroon ng you don't actually see the patient as the patient. I'm sure you've heard of this in the medical world. But learning to listen is something that can't be taught. And then you see that the compassion comes out talaga eh. The compassion comes out.
Okay. So, this is applying what you've learned from theater to med. How about from med naman to theater? Ngayon ba may nai-apply ka na ba na natutunan mo sa med school tapos nai-apply mo sa theater?
Siguro not in theater, but more on the event circle. So, what I've learned actually in medicine, that what you fix kasi usually are systems, right? So, if there is a difficulty in, if a person is having difficulty in something, you have to look at it in a structural view na, how can I make this better for this person, right? So, kunyari, pag may taong may sakit, hindi mo naman sisisihin yung taong may sakit na kasalanan mo kasi may sakit mo. 'Di ba? Ang titingnan mo is, paano kita matutulungan? So, actually, na-adapt ko yun dati kasi parang mas kasalanan na itong taong to, so papagalitan mo siya, ganyan. Ngayon, paano ko matutulungan tong taong to? Kasi nakikita ko nahihirapan siya. It's more of addressing the system that you're in, rather than
parang
kasalanan mo.
Paano mo inaayos yung sistema ng katawan mo?
Oo,
Parang
yun.
ganon.
Kasi, pag medicine naman, di mo sasabihin dun sa tao na nagkasakit siya. Ikaw kasi, kasalanan mo yan, ganyan. Hindi. Ang i-address mo kagad is, paano kita matutulungan? How am I able to help you? How can I make this better for you? And I think that's something na I'm trying to bring, or at least I'm trying to consistently practice in the event circle, na parang, paano kita matutulungan? How can I make this better for you? Rather than scolding you for...
And curious naman ako, no? So, from medicine naman, kasi na-mention mo about sa business eh.
Yeah.
Pero sa tingin mo, ano yung mga principles, learnings na pwede mo ma-apply from medicine to theater, given na medicine is more of exact science talaga, tapos theater is, di ba? Not as exact as medicine, di ba? Sa tingin mo, ano yung mga pwede mo pa ma-apply in the future? Na natutunan mo sa med school na pwede mo ma-apply sa theater?
Oh, medicine has a lot of discipline. And and you really need consistency. And it's very evident if you're not disciplined and you're not consistent. And I think that's a good practice in theater as well. So, we see a lot of talented people. Talent is very big, ganyan. Sa medicine, lahat ng tao talented. Sa medicine, lahat ng tao talented. Pero kung talent lang yung meron ka, wala, you'll fall behind. It's really consistency. So, meron akong thing na, actually, it started talaga sa med school.
Okay.
Na ina-apply ko ngayon in most aspects of my life. And I think this is applicable to theater. I call it the no zero days.
Mhm.
Meaning, no matter what, in any day, hindi ako pwedeng nagzi-zero doon. So, in med, it's reading. Reading or studying my trances. So, tinatawag ko siyang no zero days kasi kahit one page lang, kailangan may mabasa ko today. Kahit basta, hindi siya pwedeng zero ako that day. Yun. Kasi, hindi mo siya matututunan nang wala kang consistency. Like, even if I study this whole weekend, and then I leave the whole week na hindi ako mag-aral, mawawala yung lahat ng inaral ko this weekend. Kasi you have to train your body to be consistent and to be disciplined enough. And that's something that I think will be greatly beneficial in the arts. Whether it be theater, events, whatever. No zero days. Like, you do one thing to help improve yourself and to be consistent. Kailangan siya ng ganun eh. So, it doesn't even matter. It's not like acting classes or whatever. It's reading a play. It's listening to something that you know that will benefit you. It's working on your body because that's your instrument. Ganun. So, dapat no zero days. There are so many things na in medicine, parang you acquire so much knowledge in such little time. And in theater, parang we take for granted that the knowledge that we're supposed to acquire is everything. So, we're stuck on our phones. Nalilimit yung knowledge acquisition natin with all those things. Sa med, nakita ko talaga na parang lahat ng sinasabi ng prof, binabasa mo, how you interact with patients, that goes into your cup. And I think we have to view that also in the arts. Na whatever you're acquiring, that's what goes into your cup. So, if you're not acquiring anything except what's on your phone, your cup is just Instagram, TikTok, ganun lang, di ba? Instead of going outside and really seeing the world, or talking to other people, or reading something, just one page, no zero days. So, yun yung mantra ko recently, siguro for more than a year. It was a hard transition for me going back to being a student. And I really had to relearn all these techniques in terms of studying. And that's what has been working for me, the no zero days. Kasi it's never just one page eh. If I start with, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna study for 5 minutes. The 5 minutes actually becomes like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes at most, ganyan. And yung 30 minutes na yun, nag-accumulate yun.
No zero days.
No zero days.
Yeah.
I actually got that from, I forget, I don't know if I got that from a podcast, but they were referring actually to exercise. And because I have ADHD, so, ano siya, parang practice din siya for people with ADHD na parang you don't have to do everything in one day. Just whatever little thing.
And aside from doon, no, I suppose, siyempre, di ba, pagka in the future, I suppose you'll still be, gaganap ka pa rin naman sa mga roles, di ba? So, I suppose at least yung baka pwedeng ikaw na yung isa sa mga role mo, doctor, or pwedeng at least may nuances na yung scripts nyo. I suppose that can also apply, no?
Yeah, nakakatawa nga kasi tinatanong ako nung friends ko in the industry kung magre-retire na daw ba ako. Like, magre-retire na ba ako in the arts kasi nga magdo-doctor ako full-time. But I actually know a lot of doctors. I have one professor who did the Ricky Lee writing workshop. Ganon. Na parang it's not independent of each other. It's really more of a time thing. Na parang doctors take a lot of time doing clinics, doing rounds, ganyan. Kaya people think they don't have lives outside. You want a doctor who's exposed to everything else in what's happening in the world. Kasi that means that person is more open to experiences, to understanding people. Yeah.
And I suppose naman, kunwari pag doktor ka na talaga, tapos magbibigay ka ng reseta, or kaya resulta ng operasyon, alam mo na kung paano mo sasabihin ng, 'di ba, kung paano mo siya gustong sabihin talaga, no?
Oo. Communication kasi hindi ko alam, pero when I was in school as a theater student, communication was really a big thing. We were taught that parang the responsibility of communication was the responsibility of the speaker. It's your responsibility to be understood. So if the listener doesn't understand you, it's your responsibility to make the listener understand. That's a big thing in being a doctor, na learning to listen and learning to explain things. Ang dami kong mga kaibigan na nagrereklamo na parang they felt bad because how the doctor was talking to them, ganyan. Yeah. And that's a big thing kasi parang you have to grow into it Hindi siya immediate na i-memorize mo tong script na to, ganito mo siya sasabihin. Hindi You have to be in the moment and actually talk to the person and actually listen to the person. And sinasabi to ng lahat ng doktor, you treat the patient, not the illness. So you have to listen to what the patient is saying. And that's a big thing in communication. And I learned that in the arts. Yung being present just in talking to someone is a big thing. There will be times, I'm sure, in the future wherein I am not able to do anything for my patient, but just to be present, diba? And that's already so big for me and for my patient.
Wow, just being present, no? Lalo na pag talagang wala ka nang magawa. Nice. Okay, so ngayon sa dami ng ginagawa mo, 'di ba? Theater, may business ka, medicine. So, kamusta ka? Like, how do you juggle, manage everything? Kamusta ka?
People always ask that. How do I juggle?
Oo.
I don't. No, paano ba? When I was younger, I was really a workaholic. I would work like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yeah.
Sana lahat may energy na ganun, di ba?
Bata pa ako nun. Pero, and then I realized actually that is not sustainable. So now, the only way that I can actually juggle all these, hindi nga juggle man lang but to integrate all these things. Parang work-life integration siya. The way that I can integrate all these things is actually enjoying doing all of them.
Enjoying doing all of them.
I don't, if I don't enjoy something, I'm not gonna do it anymore. Like, before I was a dragon boat paddler, I used to wake up at 3:30 in the morning.
Grabe, dami talagang ginagawa.
Hindi na kaya.
Siguro, baka isang episode pa, ano naman yung na-apply ng theater, ng medicine, dun sa dragon boat, no? And yung dragon boat sa medicine, saka sa theater.
Pero, dati kasi yun, I just wanted to set an example. Kasi, gigising ka ng madaling araw para mag-training. And you wouldn't do that if you didn't enjoy it. And so now, I also have like, hindi siya strict pero parang, I never multitask. I never do all of these things all at the same time. What I do is I devote several hours to doing this, studying. Ito lang yung gagawin ko. Mag-aaral lang ako. That's it. Tapos, yung next activity ko, if I have to deal with something for the business, yun lang yung gagawin ko. I will focus on that. Hindi siya pwedeng nag-aaral ako tapos sabay-sabay. Kasi, it takes a lot of energy to do that. Ganun. I don't feel like I am doing a lot because I'm also surrounded by a great support system.
Surround yourself with a great support system.
Yeah. Like, I also make it a point that if I'm already feeling down dahil sa dami ng ginagawa ko, or if there is overwhelm, I really ask for help.
Ask for help.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really ask for help. I have friends who are on my lifeline na sasabihin ko na, okay, I need somebody to talk me through kasi parang your brain is like going on overdrive because of everything that you're, so talking things through. And then, I make sure also na parang if I don't feel well, mentally or physically, I take the time for myself. Ganon. I really don't believe anymore in the, ano yung term, the hustle. Ganon. Hindi na siya, hindi siya sustainable. Okay siya kasi okay to have the drive. But you don't need to hustle. You just need to work smart. Yeah.
Working smart as
You
well.
have to work smart. You have to work smart. You have to find ways that work for you. Dati, yung structure ng buhay ko parang nakapattern siya sa ibang tao. Na, ay, itong tao to kasi may ginagawa siya, kailangan ganyan din yung ginagawa ko. Hindi Iba talaga yung rhythm, Actually, I feel really lazy. When I go
Wow!
Yeah,
Sa dami na ginagawa mo, lazy ka pa sa lagay.
Oo, alam mo, feeling ko talaga Kasi nga, pero when I try to talk to myself, I realize that that's because of what the outside world is saying When you rest, you feel like, shit, I should be doing something. Ganyan. Bakit ako walang ginagawa? Ganyan. But that's actually the outside world It's okay. It's okay that you're not doing something at this time. You just have to know what your commitments are. You have to know what you're supposed to do to reach that commitment. Pero at your own pace, at your own time. Tsaka
Okay.
prayers, lahat. Madaming prayers.
Okay.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that you would like to be grateful for or thank for doon sa younger self mo, bago pa lahat to, 'di ba, came into play,
Yeah.
ano yung gusto mong ipagpasalamat doon sa younger self mo?
Oh gosh.
If you can talk to your younger self, ano yung gusto mo ipagpasalamat sa kanya?
I think I'd be grateful to my younger self for fighting. For really powering through. It felt so hard when I was younger because there were a lot of expectations on myself, from other people, ganyan, on what success was supposed to be like. And I'm grateful for my younger self to actually powering through that image of what success was. Success is so different now at this age. But if I didn't work through all of those when I was younger, hindi ako aabot dito I always say that I'm so grateful for my life now because it really got better. It was never about more money or more work or like being wanted and needed in the workplace, ganyan. But it was really understanding more that the little things mattered. Ganon. If I wasn't as disciplined and if I wasn't as intentional about what I wanted to do when I was younger, I don't think I'd reach this point. Ganon. Yun. So I'm really grateful for my younger self for really powering through, for really going through the hardships and overcoming them. Yeah.
Powering through.
Yeah.
Okay, sige. So yun nga, no, before we end we usually ask our guests one parang mandatory question.
Okay.
No, because we believe na long-term success is built on tiny habits.
Yeah.
As you say nga, di ba? No 0 days.
Yes.
But it's not just one big decision.
Yeah.
So, ano yung non-negotiable habit, ritual, or anything na ginagawa mo every day?
Easy. Prayer. So me, I am religious, but I'm also very spiritual. So I don't think that you have to be religious to be grateful. I believe that whatever you believe in, something greater than you, the universe, Mother Earth, etc. I think that you have to be grateful for everything that you are doing. And that's part of my prayer every day. Na I have to remind myself that there are so many things to be grateful about. And that there is something bigger than me. Because that dictates also what I do in my everyday. So yun nga, the little things. If you believe that you're just a speck in the universe, that you're such a small thing that can make a big difference, that keeps you grounded. Yeah. So prayer, I will never go without prayer. I will never go without thinking that there is something, someone bigger than I am.
Just a speck in the universe, just like the name of your company, Moon, di ba?
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, Mara. I mean,
Thank you.
sobrang inspiring ng story mo, no, na how your personal blueprint of success is really inspiring, di ba? And your commitment to what we call intentional endurance, di ba?
Yes.
Dahil ko natutunan sa'yo, like, being just joyful. Kasi if you're powering yourself through joy, di ba? Marami kang pwedeng magawa. And it doesn't feel like na marami kang ginagawa, no?
Yeah.
And all the things na na-apply mo from one discipline to another, na it's not a world of, or na, doktor lang ako, theater lang, di ba? Or entrepreneur lang, I can be, you know, and, di ba?
Yes.
So I'm really inspired, no? Your parang effort to personal growth, di ba? And this is exactly the blueprint na tinatawag na our listeners need. So thank you so much for sharing your wisdom today,
Thank you.
Mara.
Thank you so much for having me, Ren.
And until next time, keep trusting yourself and committing to the process. This is Unifest Talks.
That was another masterclass in sustainable success. If today's conversation showed you anything, it's that your vision is worth the focus, and the journey demands your resilience, not your burnout. Take one unconventional step today towards manifesting the best version of you. Again, a huge thank you to our partner, HKD Digital, for supporting the collective's vision for Unifest Talks. And special thanks to the following for their support: Eastern Communications and Ayala Foundation. To catch all the lessons from our guests, hit subscribe wherever you are tuning in and follow Unifest on all social media platforms. Visit unifest.com to access the show notes and connect with our global co-creators of tomorrow. Until next time, keep trusting yourself and committing to the process.